Hey friends, my name is Alex and I'm Russian. If you were looking for some information, what is going on in Russia, for sure you've noticed that exists completely different info on the internet. For example, if you're listening for the news from Europe Union, countries like Germany or France, probably you've seen that they're saying something like Europe, by using sanctions, almost destroyed Russia or Russian economy. And absolutely completely different situation happens in Russian news. If you're listening them, they saying that during the process of import substitution, we not just stand those sanctions. No, we even became more stronger from the side of economy than we were before. Because before we were using a lot of services from abroad, so we're paying to other countries to their businesses by using their service, and right now we have our own services, so we became even richer. So where is the true in it? Who is saying real info and who is lying? Because I'm Russian, I will try to explain you my vision and what do I think about it in this video. The first what I can say is that if you've seen some news that Russia not just stands sanctions but became more powerful and more rich, it's completely lying. Because for 5 years or for 10 and I think even for 20 years, it's almost impossible to replace every foreign company, every foreign business, even for such a big country as Russia. Just because it's difficult. It's really difficult process. Yes, for example, if we are talking about some internet companies, I mean services like Uber or Booking or Airbnb or any applications for food delivery, we have Russian things in Russia which we use instead of it. So we don't worry that we don't have Uber because they went from market. We don't worry about Booking because they also went from market, because we have our copies. Just because in Russia we have a lot of programmers, those programmers are good and their salary is not that big comparing with programmers for other countries. So it's not that difficult to create web services like those. Yes, that's true. But when we're talking about something more general, something more difficult, for example, you bought a house and you want to buy a kitchen there and you need to buy a fridge. He's coming some difficulties because things like this we're producing in some Euro countries. If you want to buy a car, a lot of them will produce it also in Europe or even in America. And do we have those cars? Yes, we do. Because even if company don't directly send their cars to Russia, it doesn't mean that they not send it to some countries like Kazakhstan and we buy it later from Kazakhstan. But it's strongly affect on the price. Price of the cars, I think, increased for around 2 times for last few years. Yes, of course, right now in Russia, lots of people buying some Chinese and Korean cars. Like we don't need those West companies, those bad companies who went from our market. Now we're friends with Asia, and partly it's cool, but partly, people were buying Mercedes over than Hyundai. Not just because they prefer German people, no, just because they prefer quality of German, because Mercedes-Benz is higher in the quality than Hyundai. Partly we can say that the price a bit different, but honestly not really, because in the last years also Russian ruble was going down, so it means that everything that you buying abroad increased in its price in 1.5 times for at least. So it's increasing 15, 16%. Also, if we're talking about things like food, for example, in Russia we have interesting strategies that if you want to increase the price of any particular food, for example butter, on 20%, you as a businessman, as a seller of this butter, realizing that if you will increase it in one day in 20%, because you have to do it, people just won't buy it, and the next day they will decide that they can live without butter, that life not that difficult without it. So what are you doing? You increasing price only on 10%, but instead of increasing on 20, you just reducing the amount of butter what you're putting in one pack. For example, common pack of butter in Russia right now 180 grams or 150 or even 100 grams. but before normal pack was 200 grams. In Spain, normal pack of butter is 250 grams, and the same happens with every type of food. Also, you can not just decrease the amount of this product into one pack, but decrease the quality of this food, because not a lot of people will notice that right now you're putting not sunflower oil but palm oil inside of cookies or inside of bread. And of course palm oil much cheaper because you're buying it from some Asia poor countries, and the quality is the same, is pretty bad. So all in all, if make like a small conclusions about this topic, what can I finally say is that do people can live right now in Russia? Yes, of course, the living it's not something that people dying without the food, because by some reasons government is able to keep the price for potato, for example, for around 20, 25 or 30 cents per kilogram. So it's super cheap even for Russia, where you have a average salary for around $200-300 per month. Okay, maybe 400 in some cities, but still buying a potato for 30 cents, it's extremely cheap. And I don't know how they do it. I think they just make some dotation for the businessmen who are producing this potato, because otherwise it's not worth it to sell it for this price. But if you want to buy something more normal, like for example milk, in Russia we have interesting idea that the price of milk always connected to the price of dollar. So 1 liter of milk always costs $1, and it seems cheap, but not for a lot of Russians when their salary is 200. So per month you can buy only just 200 liter of milk and your salary is over. So final conclusion. Everything not that good as it's saying in Russian news. Yes, Russia not completely destroyed, Russian economy not completely destroyed, especially if we're talking about Russia as a country, as a powerful country which has army, for example. Russia still has all of this, Russia still has money for that, but a lot of people who live there now poor. Of course, if you meet some guys from Moscow or St. Petersburg or any huge city, almost like a capitals, they were saying that everything is fine and blah blah blah, everything is okay, we have a normal salary, partly just because in cities like this they rarely has a good salary, and partly just because people are getting scared with the time. Every time when I will call to my friends or to my family, with months by months they're getting more and more scared to talk about any difficult topics. And also, it's a common idea of psychology of humanity. When you're staying in one place, even if situation going badly, with the time you're trying to assure yourself that everything is fine, just to feel yourself fine. Because if you see that everything going too bad and you're assuring yourself that everything really bad, you can go to the depression. So as it is, as it is. I hope after this video you understood some pieces of information about what is going on surround. If you have still some additional questions, feel free to let them in comments. I will try to respond on every question, and also maybe make a new additional video if I will get a lot of comments or any big questions which you would like to listen in a full description, for example. Thank you that you've seen this video. It was Alex. See you in the next video. Bye.